So I call it just stitch because literally it's just that. I'm going to demonstrate this one with 2 strands so you can see it nice and bold. So I move away a couple of stitches from the location I'm going to stitch. I insert my needle here and leave a little tail. It doesn't have to be very long, just to keep it secure. And I'm going to come over here and start my stitch. And sometimes I press down the tail there. Okay, so I'm pressing down here. And then I am going to just do a cross because I normally start from the bottom left to upper right for the first leg. If you imagine at the back of my fabric, this thread goes diagonal down here. So when I stitch the rest of the stitches, it gets tucked in. And then I'm going to literally just come up from the bottom right. Just do a normal stitch. But you want to adjust the tension so this bit, you don't lose the little tail, okay? And then just keep stitching. Because once you do the second leg, it's very, very secure. I can tuck as much as I want. The first leg, don't tuck, okay? You're going to lose the thread. I'm tucking, can you see that? It goes nowhere. Totally, totally secure. And snip this off. And you can go, well, how do I get away with not having to cut the tails? Because if you start and stop quite a lot, it does matter, you know, extra step. So I'm going to show you. It took a little bit of practice, okay? Again, I'm going to move a couple of stitches away because I want to leave a tiny little tail there. And I'm going to get to the location I want to be to start my stitch. You know, once you get a little bit more confident, at this point, you can start pulling the thread. Just ease it down a little bit. And normally I pull it to around here, still a little bit, right? I start to complete the first leg. And once I insert my needle to complete the first leg, I can keep pulling until there's just literally just tiny bit. You know it's still there. The tail is running along here because we need it to secure the stitch. And then I can pull down a little bit, not all the way. And then I'm going to come up from the bottom right. And then you can pull it a little bit, tuck it a little bit tighter. At this point, I can, you know, tuck gently. This little bit still there, doesn't go anywhere. And then I can just complete the stitch. And at this point, it's totally secure. I can tuck as much as I want. Even though, essentially, I'm just doing a full cross. And with this little tail, you can kind of leave it there, doesn't matter. But normally what I do is to tease from underside of the fabric and just tease it away. That's it. So at the back, you can imagine it's a tiny, tiny little tail dangling there. But now I can pull as much as I want. It doesn't go anywhere. And particularly if you just keep going for a couple of stitches, it's completely, completely tucked in. That's it. Very, very simple. It doesn't matter what fabric count. This is pretty much my go-to start. So hopefully that helps.